So I get asked by a lot of people how they can get to a level where they can run and gun and shoot to very high standards with very effective performance. And a lot of people think it requires shooting very complex drills, shooting on the move, doing a lot of different crazy things. When in reality, to get to that point, you just need to master the fundamentals and work the basics. And it's very boring. It's very similar to playing scales on a piano. So for today, I want to talk about 3 things you can do to become a better carbine shooter. First tip I want to bring up is sight alignment. And that might seem too basic, like, oh, well, that's a normal fundamental. Everybody understands that. You need to align your sights in order to hit the target. Well, in reality, a lot of the different people that I work with, whether it's military, law enforcement, or civilians, when I see them on the range and when I'm working with them on the range on shooting performance, whatever it happens to be, I see a lot of guys still, when they go to bring that rifle up, they bring the gun up and then they still fish with their head. They either fish with their head or they have to move the gun up and down a little bit, or they have inconsistent stock placement in their shoulder. So they're getting an improper sight acquisition, improper sight alignment. It's not fast, it's not efficient, and that's a big problem. Your sight alignment and your sight acquisition should be as simple as gun is not in your field of view. You're either at high ready or depressed muzzle or low ready or relaxed ready, whatever you want to call it. And as soon as that gun comes up, you have your sight picture. Where my natural point of aim is, at the target that I'm looking at, my sight goes to that point. And then I finesse my sight picture based on target size, target distance once the gun is up. But my sight should be on target most of the time just fine. I'll use an example. If you played a video game and you ADS on an enemy player or on an NPC, so you right click on your mouse or you front bumper on your controller, if your sights didn't always go to the center but could go off to the sides randomly, how fast do you think you'd rage quit out of that game? Probably pretty fast, because that would be extremely frustrating. And this is exactly the same thing. This should be equally frustrating. If you go to pull your sights up on a target and they're not there, or your head isn't in the right place, you should fix that. It should be 99.99% consistent, where as soon as the gun comes up, there are the sights. I finesse my sight picture based on target size, target distance, and then I fire that shot. And this is really basic. It's really easy to work on. You build that subconscious ability of getting that every time. You do it with dry fire in your house, just putting little pieces of tape up in your house, bringing the gun up, then making a mental note, am I on? Yes, I am. Gun comes down, reset, do it again. Am I on? Yes. Okay, reset, high ready, low ready, whatever you want to do. And then on the range, same thing. Give yourself a little target that forces you to see your optic and get a sight picture, and then just start working that. 1 round, 2 round, start building that really fast, effective sight alignment. So already up standard that I have for finding that first sight acquisition really fast is I have an IPSC target. So I have a 5" by 5" box, a headshot from 5 yards in under half a second, so under 0.50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 yards from low ready, so gun aimed at feet of target, also known as depressed muzzle, whatever you want to call it. On buzzer, under half a second. All right. Now I got my shot timer to work. That's a 4-4, 5 yards. Let's do it 3 times in a row, or 4. It's just doing it once, doesn't count. Let's see if it's repeatable. Let's see how repeatable. All right, 4-2, that's in. Bye. 4-5, that's in. Bye. Oh, close. 4-8. Jinxed that one a little bit. So all 4 hits in under half a second. Headshot standard, 5 yards from low ready, aimed at feet of target. It's a lot harder than it sounds, a lot harder than it looks, but it's a really good test, in my opinion, for getting that good sight alignment, also taking some height over bore into effect. So I really like this standard. I have a lot of people do it, and you'd be surprised how many people can't do it. Like, it's pretty tricky. There's a lot going on. You gotta get, you're pushing the gun from low ready to the head in about 0.2 seconds. You have to do that in about 0.2 seconds, 0.2 of a second, in order to make this standard. There's about 0.2 of a second of reaction time from when the buzzer goes off to you going, I can begin now. So you gotta do this in about 0.2 of a second. It's pretty awesome. So the next one is throttle control, and that is basically controlling the gas pedal of how fast you're shooting and how slow you're shooting. And I see a lot of shooters are either too fast or they're too slow. They get too enthusiastic, they fire too quick. I've been there. I always wanted to be a really fast shooter when I first started doing this, and I thought that meant just putting out rounds really fast, pulling the trigger really quick. But that's not what it comes down to. What it comes down to is being able to hit the target really fast. So I see a lot of shooters out there, I'll have them shoot a standard, like the Bear Solution standard or something, and they'll go really fast and they'll have 5 misses, and they'll do it in 5 seconds. Great time, horrible accuracy. Then I'll have other shooters who will shoot a drill like that just fine with 100% hits, but their time will be super duper duper slow. So how do we find that balance? And there is a balance between both. I don't personally believe that accuracy is more important than speed, or speed is more important than accuracy. I believe it is both contextual. As a target gets further away from you, what becomes more important? Accuracy. As a target or a threat gets closer to you, what becomes more important? Speed. If someone's 2 yards from me, I don't need utmost Olympic accuracy if I have to shoot that person, that individual at 2 yards. At that point, I'm going to need speed. So I believe they both adjust based on target size, target distance, and target opportunity, those 3 things. So when you're shooting, when you're training, focus on not going too fast. If you start to miss too much, that means you need to slow it down some. I did do a video talking about why you should miss and pushing your standards. So there is a time and a place to push your speed to the point of missing. But if you are consistently missing, 80% of your shots, 50% of your shots, 60% of your shots, and you're not doing anything about it, you don't care, you're just doing it, that means you're going too fast. You're going to create bad habits. You're going to impede your ability to go to the next level, and that becomes a really big problem. So that's the big thing I see a lot of shooters not paying attention to. They don't really care. They just go as fast as they can. It looks cool, it feels cool, and yeah, it's a lot of fun going fast. But it's a lot more fun when you can go fast and hit stuff. So to work basic throttle control drills, I like to use 2 different targets. I have a big one and I have a small one. So it's going to force me to slow down as I move to the small target, or speed up if I start on the small target and go to the big one. This is just one of our targets off of our website. I can set my distance at whatever I want. I can set whatever round count I want. For this, I'm going to do 4 rounds into each, and I will do it at 7 yards. Let's do this. 7's about here. 4 rounds each. I'll go big first, small second. That was a little too high on the small one, but you can hear the change in shot cadence. So there's my 4 rounds into this big one. 3, and I threw this one high when I held 2 high. That was in 3-3-8. Let's do it again. All right, we're good. All in. 3-3-9. Boom, 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 boom. Group opened up a little bit, but that's fine because I have a huge target area. And then my 4 are just in here. Now let's do small to big. All right, 3-2-0. Sped up my shooting into the big circle quite a bit. Still in. These 4 right here. And then these were all just in here nicely. So basic throttle control drill. Big to small, changing my shooting speed, being in full control of that. Not going too fast on the small guy. Not going too slow on the big circle. Trying to keep them fast enough and I can still get my hits. Balance of speed and accuracy. So the third is give yourself conditions. Now, what do I mean by that? So anyone can just stand and shoot a target and just bang, bang, bang. But if you're not giving yourself conditions to train for, are you actually getting better at anything? If you're not giving yourself conditions of accuracy, maybe conditions of speed, conditions of how your gun is set up, maybe a movement condition where you're running up 50 or 100 meters, getting into position and then taking your shots, how are you going to get better at shooting? I see a lot of people, they just want to shoot Coke cans on a log, do whatever, and they're not necessarily giving themselves conditions or paying attention to any one thing in particular. That's not going to make you a better shooter. You're going to become a better shooter faster if you start giving yourself conditions, and conditions that are realistic and apply. So saying, I want to shoot this circle at 6 yards, and I'll try to do it in, a few seconds. I'll try to push my speed and have a balance of speed and accuracy. You'll become a better shooter faster than just going, I just want to shoot this target with 6 rounds. Bang, 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 and so on. So I believe conditions are really important to pushing to that next level. I'm primarily a self-trained, self-taught shooter. I didn't have a shooting coach growing up. I didn't have, You know, I didn't take 10, 20 different rifle classes. And one of the ways I was able to get this good shooting is I was always giving myself conditions, whether it was accuracy or speed or movement or some other thing, maybe loading my rifle if my rifle's empty and then shooting the drill and still having a speed condition. You know, I talk to guys who go, oh, well, if you can't, you know, shoot steel at 600 meters with irons, you're no good. Well, what conditions are you shooting that target at 600 meters in? You know, is it taking you 10 minutes to do that? How many misses did you have? Maybe you have an ammunition condition. You only have 5 rounds to hit, you know, 3 times at 600 meters with irons. That's pretty cool. But if you don't have any conditions at all, it takes you 10 minutes, you fire 20 rounds and you get 1 hit, that's not that great. So give yourself conditions when you're training, whether it's speed, ammo, some movement, whatever it is. You don't necessarily need to pile conditions on you because that can distract from the task at hand that you're focusing on. But don't just shoot aimlessly. Give yourself purpose, give yourself an objective, give yourself a goal, and be purposeful in trying to identify that one thing you want to focus on. And that's ultimately going to lead you to becoming a better shooter as you start identifying these things on your own, as you self-diagnose, and as you look for things. Don't think I'm saying that accuracy isn't important. It absolutely is. It's something that we should always attain to higher standards of. But I also don't think that we should just dwell on accuracy only and totally bypass the idea that we need speed to go along with it. Fast accuracy will always beat slow accuracy. Simple as that. Although there's a lot of people on the internet that like to debate that. But someone who can shoot, you know, 4 rounds at 400 meters in 10 seconds will definitely outshoot the guy that takes 60 seconds to get the same performance and the same objective achieved. So I'm definitely a big proponent of balancing speed and accuracy and pushing that speed. I do that in a lot of my classes, and I get guys shooting drills very similar to the ones that we were doing in very short amounts of time while still attaining that speed. The other thing I will note is today, shooting all these drills, I was just static, shooting into paper targets. I wasn't running around doing massive 180s, transitions, shooting barricades around cars, things like that. It's easy sometimes for people to go, I need that stuff in order to train, you know, practical performance shooting or tactical shooting. The answer is no. To work the basics and the fundamentals, all you need is just a single lane, a single target, some different sizes of circles so you can draw with a Sharpie or maybe print out from our website or a target that you purchase, and then you just work on that. I mean, most of my training on my own, that's all it is. I'm not running around doing crazy stuff. I do that sometimes to work my shooting on the move, but oftentimes it's just shooting paper, just working the basics. It's just playing scales on a piano. It's not fun at all. It's tedious, it's boring, but it allows you to build high standards of shooting performance, which will then translate into shooting on the move, shooting barricades, shooting around vehicles and things like that. So don't think you need a full bay, massive, crazy range to do the training that you need. An indoor range can work just fine. I'll have a series coming up soon on that. Definitely subscribe to the channel if you want to see that for carbine and pistol. If you guys have any other videos you'd like to see, definitely comment below. We go through there, we read through them. And if you want to see what's coming, hit that subscribe button.